Hello, guys, and welcome back to this masterclass for the beginners. And here's your guy here once again, the wolf with HTML. So, guys, in the previous lesson, we talked about this, what you can see on the desktop, and we introduced this element in HTML. And today, we are going to talk about. We're going to learn about. Today we are going to learn about HTML editors. So far, we have one editor here that displaying this whatever you're seeing on the screen. Don't be surprised, don't be worried because we're going to do it. So a simple text editor is all you need to learn HTML, like the one I have here. First of all, let's find out how we can download this and use this. So you can learn HTML using a notepad or any text editor. So web pages can be created and modified by using a professional HTML editor. However, for learning HTML, we recommend who are we anyway? I just recommend a simple text editor like Notepad in PC or text editor on a Mac. So I believe that using a simple text editor is a good way to learn HTML. So we are going to download a sublime text from Google, and we install it and we write a very simple HTML and see what we have. So first of all, we're going to click Google, and I have Chrome here, so I'm just going to run this. Open this, and let me just expand over here and click this over here. So I'm just going to search supply text, and then I hit enter. Oh, the network has some issues. Let me just solve this network issue first, and we will just continue from there. I'm just going to reload this, and the supplement text is just right here, and you can click this and download for Windows. That is it. So once you download, you just run the .ex, and yeah, you installed it. So since I have already got it in my PC, so I'm not going just to download it. So once you run, you can have something like this that I have here, this one. So how I got this code on my desk, I just created this, and actually the first lesson I showed you on how to do this. So we're going to continue from here. So I just want to write a simple HTML stuff here, and so let's write some HTML. So the first thing that I want to do in the body here, let me just remove this meta information for ease here seeing what we're doing. So here we have the title. I already did explain this, but I just want to come in the body and write some heading here. So h1, this is the head. I've already explained that in the first lesson. I just want to say my first heading, just like that. And then let me create a p tag here. So the p tag, hit that, and actually supplement text is so awesome that it's like intelligent in some way. Once you initialize a tag, and it autocomplete. So I'm just going to write my first paragraph, just like this, and I just put a comma there. So if I run this, so to run this you must save, because you can see here we have a dot, but when it's saved is actually turned into X. So you just save it, hit this file, and then save. Now you can see we have X here, so I can run this or open in a browser, and here we go. So you can see we have my first heading and my first paragraph. Why is my first heading is big? It's because I enclose in H tag, which is H1, which is the in size is bigger than the rest. For example, you have H1, H2, H3 until H6. H6 is smaller compared to H1, which is the largest. So that's it. So to save, I've already showed you on how to save that element, and we have viewed on our browser, and now you can try it yourself wherever you are. But before that, I just want to put a title here and say that this is the title of the page. For example, you want to open a page, always we have the title for the page. So here I'm just going to call it page title, because that's where you place your page title. If you, for example, you're developing a website for a business person, maybe the person sells phone, probably the title is where you're going to put the name of the shop. Page title. So I'm going just to save this, and again let's open in the browser, or you can just update this. So you can see the page title here. For example, I can say I have a small shop I run, so I call it Xmo's Animation Studio, because I have animation studio anyway. So if that is my shop name, that's where I am going to call it like that, and then save it, and again open it, and then reload this. So you can see the title is Xmo's Animation Studio. So that is it, and let's see some HTML basics. So HTML basics. So in this subtopic, we just wanna show some basics in HTML. So don't worry if I use a tags that you have not learned about yet. So HTML documents. So all HTML document must start with a document type declaration, which is docu-type HTML. This over here. All must start with this, and the HTML document itself begin with this. So HTML document itself begin with this HTML here. So, and the visible part of the HTML document is between the body. So anything that is within the body here. So you see when I click here, there is a small line here indicating that it ends with this over here. If I click this heading, you see the head starts from here till here. If I click this HTML, it should actually like this one here. Yeah, it does anyway. So anything that is visible is within this body tag. That's where everything within this is going to be visible on the website. So the docu-type declaration. So the docu-type declaration represents the document type and helps the browser to display web pages correctly. This one here. And it must only appear once. So you can see we have it once in our page, and it's normally on the top of the page before HTML tags. So you can see it here. So you can ask, why are you typing this? Yeah, it's here. You see, actually I can remove this. Yeah, I should remove this mistake. So I have this. It's only appear once. So yeah. So the docu-type declaration is not a case sensitive. So you can write in small letter, like you can change this capital letter, and the docu-type declaration for HTML5 is actually this one here. This is now HTML5. So let's talk about HTML headings. So HTML headings are defined with the H1 to H6 tags. So these are the headings, So H1 defines the most important heading. For example, here, this is the most important tag heading here. And H6 defines the least important heading, you see. So we can do that. Let's have some for some of them. Let me just remove this. Okay, no need. But I can hit here and create another H2. Let me just hit H2 and hit it. And also I should have H3. So H3. Hit it. Just like that. So I just want to head H2 to have this is okay, this is heading 2. This is let me just copy this am I really recording? Yes, you're recording. So let's do it. So copy this and place it over here, and this is heading 1, and also let's have heading 3. We had this over here, so just copy this and paste it here. So here it just head 3, so we can have until head 6. I think we should have them all so that we can see the size. Okay, this is 3. I just want to copy all this, copy them, and again paste them here. So this will be 4, this will be 5, this will be 6. And let's save it and run it. Save it and open with the browser, or we can just come back here and just update this. So you can see, oh, this is heading 4. Why are you big? Anyway, that is oh yeah, so it should be 4, and it should be 4 here, and also there should be 3, 5. This should also be 5. So this is also 6, and this should be 6. So the last one. So this is 5 and this is 6. Save that and open it. So we got this. So you can see this is the most important tab, and head 6 is the smallest, as you can see. So we have confirmed what I said. So let's talk about HTML paragraphs. So HTML paragraphs are defined with the p tag. So the p tag here we have, let me just remove all this and leave alone the p tag. So we can say that this is a paragraph. Let's say this is a paragraph. So we should remove this and say this is a paragraph, and I can copy this again, copy this and paste down here and say this is another paragraph. This is another. So we can say that this is another paragraph. So let's run this, and remember always, if you can't save, you are not going to update your site. So we will open it, and so we can see we have this is the paragraph, this is another paragraph. So that's how we create an HTML paragraph, and we have learned that it's defined by a p tag. So let's talk about HTML links. So HTML links are defined with anchor tag over here. It's actually called the anchor tag. So links are created as symbols. This they're created like we can say hey, open up tag and this A here, so it means it's over here. So href is hyper references. So here we're going to put our link, right? So this is the URL of the site that you want to visit. So those are called the links, okay? So we want to put some HTTPS. And why are you using this HTTP? They say that this is for hypertext transfer protocols and they're secure, but yeah, we will talk about that later. Anyways, if you ever attended an networking class and you learned about protocols, but not necessarily because now we're just creating a website. So, but there's some good creative courses. I'm going to introduce them. So this is what is supposed to be done of today. So double forward slash, and I just want to visit one of our major networking company, which is www.safaricom I think it's Safaricom. This is .ke because it's in Kenya. I don't know. Let me just find it out. Okay, let me just try with this. .com. I think they should learn their website in commercial, whatever. So forget about that. But I can say here, this is I can use even YouTube. This is a link. So let's save this. So when you create a link, you must use this anchor tag here. And then put in your URL. So open a browser. So if I click, this is the link. Let's see where it takes us. Oh, it's actually .co.ke. I was very right anyway. So you can see we have a Safaricom website here. Oh, it's really looking good. Oh, they normally use a green color and wow, what about if I access this port here? Let me see. 404 problem. Okay, they have a good security around there. But now I can do something. Anyway, so that's how you create a link in your website. So the link's destination is specified by the href attribute, and the attribute are used to provide additional information about HTML elements. And we will learn this more about attributes in later lessons. So HTML images, let's talk about HTML images. So HTML images are defined with img tag, symbols this. So the source file is a src, which shows the source where we get the image from, and alternatively text, which is alt, and also the width and the height are provided as attributes. So let's do it. For example, to do that, let me just move this and say img, hit that, and the source src is the source where we're going to get the image from. So for example, the source here, I can include the source. So guys, I just want to use this image tag and get some image in here. So I'm just going to put the source, and the source is just this one here. So I have some images here in my desktop, and I just want to use this Xmos here. The type is JPG. So I'm just going to get this source URL. So I copy this URL, control copy, and the name of the what of the image is .xmos, right? So just minimize this and paste URL there. Control Z, paste the URL here, just like that. And the name of the image is xmouse dot, it was jpg, and I can define the size. I think if I open this, will be the whole of the page. Let me just save this first of all and see whether I can get the whole page. Yeah, here you can see we have our image here in our website, right? So I can also define this, the width and the alternative. For example, the alternative type can be like this. Of course, I don't have an alternative as of now, but you can include that. So I just want to include the width, and the width, let's 500, and let me have the height, and the height should be, let's say 400, right? So that's the defining width and the height. So if I save this, and again update this, we will have a smaller one you can see here right now. So that's all about the images. Now let's see how to view our HTML sources. So have you ever seen a web page and wondered, hey, how did they do that anyway? So viewing HTML sources code, you just click Control plus U in HTML page. For example, we have this HTML page here, right? And if I say I click Control on PC and plus U like this, you can see. So we have this element here. So this is how we view the source code of web page in HTML. And you can also right click on the page and select View Page Sources. This will open a new tab containing HTML sources code of the page. For example, let's just load this. Actually, it opened in a new page, so I can also right click and say Inspect. Oh yeah, you can see the inspection here. Just shows the element itself, and we have this only. I think I should minimize. No, how can I minimize this? Okay, we have HTML code. Yeah, that's it. So we can inspect the element. I've already told you. You right click and on the element and choose Inspect to see what element are made up of. And this is the element you can see here. So you can also edit the HTML or CSS on the fly in the element or style panel at Apple. So you can come here. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's all about that. Let's now go that side. So let's talk about HTML elements. So an HTML element is defined by a start tag and some content and end with a tag. So HTML elements is everything from the start tag to the end tag. So we normally do this. Let me just open let's apply text here, and let me check how long the video is. 23 minutes, so I'll hit time. So what I've said here, let's just include it. So we normally do this HTML element like this down. We have a tag name here, a tag name, and then we goes like this way, and then inside here we will have the content. We have already seen that, right? Content goes here, and then blah blah blah, and then we can close the tag just like this. Again, we just, and the tag name, this is how we include HTML elements. So so example of some HTML elements are h1. We have seen already that, and the first element that we had here, we have already used this. It was just h1. So if you hit select it, so you can see the tag name is h1, and the content just goes in here. So the content will be my first heading, just like that. And also we had the paragraph type, and here we just had the paragraph element, and the content went there, and we will say that my first paragraph, just like that. So remember to have the start tag and the element content, and then end the tag. So that's all. So some HTML element have no content, like the break element, this one here. For example, here, if I run this, let me first save this, and then I open it. So you see there's a space here, but it's not that big. So if I just put this element, as we have seen that it has no element, I mean content. Let's br, which is a break, which actually creates space. If I put many of them, let me just put a couple of them, copy, and then just paste, and then paste and paste and paste. Let's save that. You see this one has no content. So if I reload this, you can see this one has moved down like 3 lines. How many lines were they? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They actually moved 5 spaces. So let's talk about nested HTML elements. So HTML element can be nested. This means that element can contain another elements. For example, here we have this element h1 and p1. So we can nest these somehow. So all HTML document consists of nested elements. So let's see one example that contains 4 HTML elements, which is HTML, body, h1, and p1. So you see, let me just remove this. Just explain by example. So here we had this head here, and then this head HTML tag, we closed it here. So the rest which is within it is nested. So we nested head tag here, the body, and we had also h1 here. So this is nesting the HTML element because they are within the other elements. So everything is nested within HTML, and also some h1 and p1 here is nested within the body, which is also the body which is nested within HTML element. So the HTML element, I've already said, is the root element, and it's defines the whole HTML document. This is the root element, you see. So it has a start tag, which is HTML this, and ends with this one here. So then inside the HTML element there are the body element. So we have seen the body here, and yeah, so that is it. So the body element defines the document's body, this one here. This defines the document body. It has a start tag, which is the body here, and it ends with a tag, this one here. And also then inside the body element there are 2 other elements, which is h1 and p1. So the h1 element defines the heading, and it has a tag which is h1 and ends with h1 here, this here. So we have the p, so we have already said that. So never skip the end tag, because some elements will display covertly even if you forget the end tag. For example, we need to do that. Okay, let me see. We can try that, because it's good to try. For example, let's have okay, where should I escape here? Let's treat everything first. Head, just leave the head there. Actually, no need. because it's something that we've been doing since day one. So empty HTML element. So HTML element with no content are called empty elements. The break, this element here. So let me just do this body here once. Body. Just this body here. So this body, if I have this element which is break br, just like that, the tag define a line break, and it's empty element without a closing tag. So you see this one, we don't have a closing tag. Yeah, but if example, I've already explained that, guys. I don't think why I should repeat it. So we have already said, no, I haven't said that HTML is not case sensitive. So HTML tags are not case sensitive. For example, if I say p here, p, then it, and this means the same as p. So if I change this p, you see this capital and this is small. If I say this is a paragraph, and if I run it, actually we're going to get the right thing. So let me just save this and load it. You see, this is the paragraph. So p tags they're not case sensitive. So the HTML stance does not require lowercase. The HTML. So guys, in the next lesson we will talk about HTML attributes, and that is for today, and goodbye. See you in the next lesson.